Welcome back to my channel, dolls. I am Natalia Nicole, and today I'm going to show you how I go from this cute little prom number to a zombie prom queen. So I hope you liked the beginning of the video. It was my first time just dabbling with a little bit of an intro. And a big thank you to Navy Gold for helping me out with the filming and all of his creative artistry. A lot of effort went into that. Jump right into it. To this. Stay tuned. So to achieve this very dead look, you want to go a few shades lighter. I'm using my L'Oreal True Match in the shade Soft Ivory, and I'm just blending that all over my face just to kill myself. So your face can't be the only thing dead on you, so definitely bring the color down into your neck and kill that too. Bring it into your shoulders and everything else. So taking teas from my Naked 2 palette, I'm going to be filling in the hollows of my under eye to give it more of a ghastly appearance. You want to get the upper and lower parts of your eyes just to give yourself the yeah, I'm dead, but I've still got a prom appearance. Time for the fun part. Taking my Rimmel Exaggerate Full Lip Color Liner in the shade Red Diva, I'm just outlining all of the areas that are going to be busted wide open. Specifically for the eye area, I'm just going to put down some liquid latex and let that dry. I got this from the Spirit Halloween store, and just a little bit of cotton tissue to let that set. So moving on to my mouth, all I'm doing is just, again, outlining everything with the latex, la-di-da-di-da, filling out that area. This is why we outline, because I can't follow in the lines. And then lay some cotton on it, give it some texture. After it's set a little bit, it's going to be tacky and the cotton's going to be a little bit easier to stick to. And then you just want to soak that cotton with the latex again. That way it gives it more texture, and then it'll be tacky, and once it dries, it looks like skin. So don't be afraid to go overboard with the latex. The more you add, the thicker it is, the more like skin it looks like. So just go ahead and feel free to soak it. I like to add pieces as I go on if I feel that it's not thick enough. Word to the wise, definitely test the latex on a little piece of your skin before you try it on, just to make sure you're not allergic to it. I'm not, obviously, but I don't want you to be allergic. So here I'm just taking a nail file and I'm going into the skin and lifting it as the latex is still wet. Not there, there it's sticky. I'm digging into my skin a little bit. But you want to make sure that it's still wet and moist and peeling it so that way it gives that ripped off look. Don't mind if it doesn't look too clean. It doesn't have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, the more ripped up it looks, the more realistic it looks. So you remember that eye that I did earlier? Well, we're going in and we're ripping it open. Just be very careful because the skin under your eye is the most sensitive and delicate skin on your face. So you just want to be very careful with that. So the mouth is the most time-consuming part. You're going to be laying down some cotton and liquid latex and then laying your teeth on top of it. For the teeth, I use some hollowed out acrylic nails and just file them down to the shape that I like. A good portion of this happens off camera because it's basically just a waiting game to make sure everything dries and sets in its place correctly. Using a red face painting stick, I am just doing the bloody base of the eye socket look that I'm going into. The coloring and painting process is definitely going to make or break your look, and you definitely want to make it, so be very careful not to overdo your details. To give the look some more dimension, I am taking Transylvania and I'm putting that right into the creases and blending it out, and then Monte Carlo just to give it a richer, darker, bloodier tone. So to give your latex a more fleshy look, you want to use a foundation that's closer to your skin tone and just lay that right on top of it so that way it looks more realistic and nasty. For me, I use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation in the color Medium 7, and that just gives it more of a fleshy look as opposed to, you know, the dead look, because it's white, so it'll even out eventually. To give the appearance of bruising, I am taking my dark purple in my CoverGirl Exactly Eyelights palette and just bringing that all around my mouth and my eyes and all the areas that look all jacked up. And time to color in. So what I'm doing right here is I am going to be taking Monte Carlo again and using that as a nice rich base color for all the fleshy goriness. It'll dry matte, so that way anything that goes on top of it will be nice and shiny and it'll stick out. And then I'm taking my Maybelline Color Sensational Red Revolution in the shade 630 and bringing that into all the crevices and just giving it a better look. So just like with the eye, I am going to be taking my black no smudge makeup cream that I got from the Spirit Halloween store and giving this look some more dimension. So I'm going in between the teeth to make my mouth look hollow, and around the edges just to give it some more dimension. I'm taking a little bit of that in between the teeth just to give it a little bit of separation as well, and then I'll go in and blend that all out. So here's the blending. You just want to make sure that you don't make everything too smooth. You know, the more variation in color, the more realistic it looks, the more fleshy and gory that it looks. To add some more undead detailing, I'm just hollowing out my cheeks with my CoverGirl Exactly highlights again and bringing that down to kind of outline the jaw area. So, time for the blood. What I'm just doing here is stippling on some of my zombie blood. This one's a little bit more gel-like and stickier. And I want to make sure I get that on the teeth just to add the appearance that I have been munching on my skin. Just a little trick, I like to layer it on piece by piece just so that way you don't overdo it and it gives a better and more realistic appearance. You also want to make sure you don't forget to get around the eye area. And now it's time for the bloodiest part of them all. I'm taking my vampire blood from, again, Spirit Halloween store, and this is what's going to give it that very wet appearance. I'm making sure to go in and get all the crevices and just taking that and blending it into the inner fleshards. Make sure you get it away from your mouth. Unfortunately, this was not the safest technique, and I do not recommend it for future references. Make sure you get some that's safe to use around your mouth, because I could have potentially died this day, but here I am making this video. Anyways, so the more blood you add, the more gory it looks. So keep adding blood. And I found a hole, and I'm putting more blood through that hole. So like I said, just keep adding blood. The blood's gonna make the whole look. If the blood and bruising wasn't enough, you can always add minor details like veins around the eyes. I'm taking my Wet n Wild Fergie Collection Center Stage palette and just using the dark blue to add various lines around my face to give the appearance of veins and stress. So putting my Prom lips back on, I'm using my NYX lip liner in the shade Purple and layering on my e.l.f. matte lip color in the shade Tea Rose on top of that. And then to give it a more ombre look, I am taking in the corners my Star Wars shade 50. It's a dark purple, and just blending that in to give it that ombre look. I've been screaming it. Details matters, guys. So go on ahead and shade in your collarbone. Smack some blood on you, some bloody handprints. Go ahead and stipple on some random bloody places and blood. You gotta look dead, guys. Dead is what we're aiming for. You might be wondering, Nat, why in the world are you putting out a zombie video and it's going to be prom season? I'll tell you why. You guys need to have fun at prom, okay? Have the best time of your life. No matter what your makeup looks like, don't forget to remember that night.
So I really hope you guys did like this tutorial. I know it's a bit different compared to the first video that I put out. We're all beautiful in your own ways. Do what makes you happy. Don't do what you think somebody else is gonna like. You know, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel. Again, more videos coming out in the future. Follow me on Instagram. On Snapchat is where you're gonna see most of the activity for right now, but stay tuned. Bye, dolls.